Hey everybody! Koricon here, and we're going to be looking at the trailer for Tubelight, which dropped today. Uh, I might look a little different because I'm set up. I've been working on my Secret Order of Keys puzzles for my Loot Crate video, so everything is messed up and moved all over, and my extra desk is out. But wanted to get this since it dropped today, and Salman Khan. I was looking at the IMDb to get the posters, so I get my posters from IMDb. They got some great looking posters for the movies, but they had Shah Rukh Khan as top billing. I don't know why they did that. I mean, I think he's got maybe a cameo or a very small part to do, but it's a Salman Khan movie. I mean, it's he even produced it. I mean, the dude's all over this movie. I would think that you would give him top billing. Anyway, I just noticed that. So when we saw the teaser, when we did the teaser reaction, I thought it was shot well. It looked pretty good. It didn't sell me on the movie yet. So we'll see what the trailer has for us. I hope they answer a little bit of the questions that I was wondering about, like, is this a realistic film? Because there were parts in there where I was like, are they trying to say that there's some supernatural things going on? And I don't think so, but it seemed to allude to that. So we'll see. We'll see what they got for us, and then we'll talk about it afterwards. Alright, so they did that again. Let's see. You saw him with the, right there with the hand. Went by too fast. So with doing the hand thing, and then they just showed it again right there, and then earlier on it they had him doing it right there. So they have more than just that one. On the teaser they had just this scene, and then the village was around him, so it was probably later than at this moment of him like trying to move the mountain, and then there was like an earthquake or something. And so I was asking, is that just coincident, or is there some kind of supernatural thing in there? What I'm thinking is that it's a quirk of his personality, like you know, a simple-minded person that's obsessed with Star Wars would try and use the Force, something like that, where he's wanting to do it and he practices it all the time, but it's never going to happen. Like, it's still based in reality that he's not going to be able to move a mountain or move anything, but part of his character believes that if he tries hard enough that he could, which I can totally accept that, because that's a very believable, you know, a lot of people have that in real life. So I think it's just a character quirk that he's trying to move things with his mind, but he never actually does. If they end up going the supernatural route and he can move things with his mind, I don't think that would be a good thing for the movie. I can understand why people would want to go that way, but I don't think it would be good for the movie. So hopefully it's just a character quirk, something interesting about that character, but not actually happen, is what I'm trying to say, I guess. There's a word that I'm trying to say, it's just not coming out right. Anyway, so in the beginning, I like the way that's shot. It's an interesting angle. You have your line, your focus is right there in the middle with the group of soldiers. The tents are organized like very grid line, very military, but the camera puts it off at a slight angle. So even though the camp is set up like you know, a military camp where everything is very precise with right angles and laid out very specific, the camera still shoots it at an off horizontal angle. I thought that was interesting. Instead of doing it straight on or straight above on the top or straight on the side, they decided to do an off-kilter angle for this perfectly symmetrical base camp. I don't know why, it just stuck in my head. I think it was an interesting decision by the director to purposefully shoot it that way. I think part of it was to get as many of the tents in frame as possible and still show the mountains and the expanse of the desert in front. So it was, that angle was probably set up that way to put as much information of the surroundings in frame at the same time, so that you don't have to have multiple angles. You don't have to have multiple edits. You can just show one scene and it gives you the layout for the your entire location, all in frame on one shot. So I think that's why the director or the cinematographer decided to do it that way. And it looks good. I think it tells you everything you need to know about the sequence and the landscape without having to edit multiple quick edits just to get all that information in. Let's see. The cinematography looks good. I mean, it's a very clean and crisp looking movie. The colors are very vibrant. He is a very simple-minded person, his character, which is good. There's a lot of movies like that, like Forrest Gump. This reminds me a lot of Forrest Gump, except for the added dimension of his brother and the you know, him going to find him, kind of like well, there's some other war movies like that where they go to try and find an individual person, Saving Private Ryan, those kind of things. But this is him searching for his brother against all odds. So I kind of like that. I like that it gives the character something more to do. You still showcase the character, but you pull in this whole other dimension, and you add the possibility for some great action sequences. We'll see if they actually pull those off. Salman Khan looks like he's pretty good in the movie. I didn't see anything that made me go, oh my gosh, this is like the greatest acting. It was more like it was good, but I wasn't super impressed and I wasn't disappointed. I was more like, yeah, that's how the character would be, which is good because then he's not overdoing it. When you do a character like this, especially a mentally handicapped or simple-minded kind of character, it's really easy to get into overacting it, and then it becomes almost a satire or making fun of somebody that actually has a disability. In this, he's playing it straight. He's acting it not over the top, pretty subdued, like how a real person with this ailment would be like. There were a couple of moments where I thought he might have gone a little bit over, but not really. Like this scene here, this was a great scene because he's not overacting it. He's giving the performance as if somebody with that mental man, I am not good with words today. With that mental handicap, how they would talk and how they would act. So, yeah, I mean, it looks like a pretty good family drama. This is gonna be your take everybody in the family to the movies kind of thing, like a Forrest Gump. But I do see a lot of parallels with Forrest Gump. Except I like the brother connection. The brother connection is great, and I think that could set up a really interesting second half of the movie. I think everything they're showing in this trailer, except for a couple of the battle sequences, take place in the first half of the film. The second half of the film is going to be him finding his brother, and I don't think they're showing a lot of that, and I think that's a good thing because it doesn't give away your third act. So when you go to the movie, you're invested with the characters and you're along for the ride, but you're not spoiled by anything in the trailer. So I think the trailer was done well. The movie looks interesting. I'm curious. I want to know what they do with it. But what do you guys think? Comment below and let me know your thoughts in this trailer. And what do you think about the character and the setup? What do you think of the acting? And what do you think about some of the directing choices? I'm liking the camera angles. Nothing struck out as bad to me for the directing or the cinematography. Everything looked like it was planned very well. But what do you think? Now for today's question. You can submit questions to Twitter using the hashtag AskKoricon or on my Discord server for questions for videos. This question came from Reverse Flash on the Discord server. Would you consider doing YouTube as a full-time job? Why or why not? Yeah, of course I would do it as a full-time job. Who wouldn't? Anyone that says they don't want to do it as a full-time job, that doesn't make sense. Now, my dad has always said, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. And that is true. However, if you work your hobby, sometimes you don't enjoy it anymore. Now, I've been building computers since I was like 12, back when it was a 386DX. It made sense that I would go into tech. It was natural for me. But once I became a tech, I didn't like it. So that was one of those things where my hobby did not translate well as a job for me. I did not like it. Now, it wasn't because of the tech work. It was the fact that I was stuck in an office all day and the only people I talked to were angry because their computers didn't work. That kind of thing. I wanted to be out. I wanted to talk to people. I wanted to have more positive atmosphere. And that's why I got into real estate, and that's why I do YouTube. So, on that scale, even though YouTube right now is a hobby for me, and I would be a little cautious about making money off my hobby, whether or not I would hate it, I don't think I would. I don't think I would ever get tired of doing it, even if I was doing it full time, because I love movies and I love making YouTube videos, and I actually love the interaction with you guys and having an international flavor for my channel. I love all that stuff. So yeah, I would totally do it as a full-time job. Do I think that will ever happen? No. I'm not. I don't think I'll ever get to the point where I could do this full-time. I'm not pretty enough. I don't have pretty people on my channel, and I'm more technical. So to get the really huge numbers that you would get to be able to do this full-time, you either have to be good looking or have good looking people on your channel. Other than that, I think that I would probably get to a medium range where I could do it more often. Like I could work less, I could cut down on my day job and do this more. But I don't think I would ever get to the point where I could make enough money on it to actually transfer to full-time. But that's just my belief. I could be surprised and sometime down the road actually make enough to do this full-time, which would be awesome. I would be down for that. But what do you guys think? If you had a chance to do YouTube videos full-time, would you take it? Are you a YouTuber? If so, put your channel in the link below. I'd like to check you out. Like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, and I will see you on the next video.